Throughout history, the brightest minds have given us the most brilliant ideas, inventions, and works of art. But behind the genius, there's often tragedy. Today, we'll uncover the heartbreaking stories of history's greatest geniuses, whose brilliance came with unimaginable pain. Vincent van Gogh, the painter whose works now sell for millions, lived his life in poverty and rejection. He created over 2,000 artworks, yet sold only one painting in his lifetime. Tormented by mental illness and poverty, he famously cut off part of his ear during a psychotic episode. In 1890, at just 37 years old, he died from a gunshot wound. To this day, historians debate whether it was suicide or something darker. Vincent's genius was only recognized after his death. Now, imagine, if you will, a world illuminated by electricity, a world where the darkness had been banished by the brilliance of invention. You might think we've always lived in such a world, but it was only 100 years ago that a single stubborn refusal to accept a new idea kept millions upon millions of people trapped in darkness. I speak, of course, of Nikola Tesla, the visionary who gave us alternating current. As a child, Tesla would stare at the stars and dream of bringing light to the world. He saw a future where people everywhere could benefit from easy, cheap electricity. But when he proposed his radical idea of using alternating current to transmit power long distances, the world rejected him. The established engineers of the time were entrenched in the ways of direct current, championed by the famous inventor Thomas Edison. Edison wasn't just a rival. He was a fierce opponent who waged a bitter campaign against Tesla. Their rivalry became legendary, known as the War of the Currents. Edison fought dirty, spreading rumors and misinformation about AC power and even electrocuting an elephant to prove how dangerous it was. And though in the end, Tesla's genius prevailed and AC power won the day, the victory was a hollow one. By then, Tesla's reputation was ruined and no one wanted to invest in his ideas anymore. Tesla spent his final years alone in a hotel room, forgotten by the world he'd electrified. He was seen regularly feeding pigeons in the park across from his room, and it was said that he died believing the birds were his only friends. He died penniless in 1943, one of the greatest inventors in history, forgotten and alone. During World War II, as the Nazis tightened their grip on Europe, they employed a machine that seemed unstoppable, the Enigma code. This complex cipher protected German military secrets from Allied intelligence. It was thought to be unbreakable, but one man dared to defy that belief: Alan Turing. A brilliant mathematician and computer scientist, Turing assembled a team at Bletchley Park to crack the Enigma code. Working tirelessly, they achieved success. By the end of the war, it was estimated that Turing's efforts had saved millions of lives. But after the war, instead of honor, Turing faced persecution. Being gay in a society that criminalized homosexuality, he was arrested and given a choice: either imprisonment or chemical castration. In 1954, at the age of 41, he was found dead. The official cause of death was cyanide poisoning, but it was widely believed to be suicide. Finally, in 2013, he was pardoned by Queen Elizabeth II. But for the brilliant man himself, it was too little, too late. Sylvia Plath was born in Boston in 1932 and published her first poem at the age of 8. She went on to become one of the most powerful poets of the 20th century. But her personal life was marred by deep depression. She suffered throughout her life and even attempted to take her own life several times. In 1963, at the age of 30, she took her own life. Her death was a tragic loss for the literary world. Her novel The Bell Jar and her poetry continue to resonate with readers around the world, especially those who struggle with mental illness. Her raw, honest portrayal of depression and suicide is both heartbreaking and important. Now let us travel back to ancient Egypt to meet a woman whose story is as old as time itself. Hypatia of Alexandria was a mathematician, philosopher, and astronomer. She was born in 350 AD and quickly became famous for her brilliance. But she also became a target because she was a woman in a man's world. Many of the leading men of the time felt threatened by her intelligence and started to spread rumors about her. Soon, the whole city was filled with hatred towards her, and a mob started forming outside her house. On March 415 AD, the mob attacked her house and dragged her out. They beat her and tore her to pieces. Her body was thrown into the sea. The brilliant mind that had illuminated the darkness of Alexandria with knowledge was extinguished in the most brutal way. As we reflect on these tales, remember, genius often comes with struggle. Behind every masterpiece, every scientific breakthrough, there might be someone battling unseen demons. Let's celebrate the brilliance of these legends, but also honor their struggles, ensuring their stories aren't just remembered, but serve as a reminder for us all, because sometimes the brightest flames burn the shortest.